2020 was a rollercoaster year for F1. Although we had some crazy races with unexpected results like Sakir and Monza, the overall trend for the year was Mercedes dominating the championship once again. Now that we're returning to the usual calendar with a large amount of carryover from 2020 to 2021, everyone's expecting Mercedes to walk away to both titles. However, I'm going to explain why that's not guaranteed to be the case, and why Mercedes could be more vulnerable to the slight rule changes than their opposition. But before we begin, please make sure to do us a favour and subscribe to the channel. It only takes 5 seconds of your time and it will help us grow so we can keep bringing you more F1 content. Whilst I said there's a large amount of carryover for this year's cars, the teams say about 80% from last year, the rules are being tweaked to reduce the insane amounts of downforce that the cars produce, which I'm sure a lot of you know by now. The teams are being forced to make changes to the floor of the car to make them more simple and produce a lot less downforce. So why might this affect Mercedes in particular? Their philosophy is to build their cars with a long wheelbase and low rake. Having a longer wheelbase allows the surface area of the floor to be larger and produce more downforce. The performance of their car is more reliant on the downforce coming from the floor than any other team. This compromises them through the tighter, slower corners, but is made up for on the high-speed, high-downforce tracks. So in theory, cutting the amount of downforce the floor can produce reduces Mercedes' advantage and keeps their biggest weakness, provided they stick to the same philosophy. Red Bull, on the other hand, have a short wheelbase. This makes their car more nimble, but also the area of the floor is less, meaning they don't rely as much on the performance of the floor for their lap time. Hence, they shouldn't lose as much from the new rules as other teams. I'm not saying Mercedes are guaranteed to be slow or Red Bull are guaranteed to be fast. All I'm saying is that these rule changes could tighten up the pack a bit. We also have new tyres for this year, so that's an unknown for everyone, which could bring about some sort of change. If you think back to 2012, something similar happened with Red Bull. As we all know, they dominated 2011, but in 2012 it was a very close championship, for the most part at least. This is because they had their biggest advantage, the exhaust blown diffuser, banned, and initially they struggled for pace, taking just 3 wins as a team until the Singapore Grand Prix, Vettel with 1 in Bahrain and Webber with 2 in Monaco and Britain. Until this stage they sat 4th and 5th in the standings, almost 40 points behind Alonso. From Singapore onwards, they brought a major upgrade package which recaptured the performance they'd lost from the ban, and they romped to the title. So the parallels are that they lost a device or part of the car that was a key source for their performance, in a similar way to what Mercedes could face this year. The contrary to that is performance comes from many different aspects of a car, like the power unit, which Mercedes have the best of on the grid. In 2012, the differences in power were not as big as what they potentially are today between the manufacturers. They've also known about these changes for a while and have had sufficient time to work around any issues. So I'm not saying 2021 is going to be the new 2012, but just that no matter how bulletproof a team may seem one year, that does not guarantee that they will carry over to the next season, especially given that there are some things changing. Lastly, let's not forget how Red Bull ended 2020. Max dominated the race in Abu Dhabi, winning by over 15 seconds. I know it's become a bit of a theme in the past few years for Red Bull to end strong and start the next year slow, but they haven't won the last race of the season since 2013. It was the only time in the hybrid era that Mercedes did not win in Abu Dhabi, which is saying something. So there are definitely ingredients for 2021 to be a great year at the very least. Whether it comes to fruition or not, we have to wait and see. But not all hope is lost. Ferrari as well apparently have found a chunk of power back, but probably not enough to rock up at Bahrain and lock out the front row. But who knows? Mercedes certainly for me aren't guaranteed to dominate the season like everyone thinks. but I could be completely wrong, and we turn up to Bahrain and they're a second clear of everyone. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you think will have the fastest car. Mercedes, Red Bull, or someone else. We all just want a closer fight, and there's certainly hope for us all at the very least. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my little season preview. If you did, please hit the like button and give your opinion down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. It helps us massively and it only takes you a matter of seconds. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more F1 content ahead of the new season. Take care.